Bama on Saturday night. And then G.J. Kinne in Texas State, who came into Waco and throttled Baylor in many ways, especially on the offensive end. They lost to Texas, UTSA, and Jeff Traylor. It was a close game. He then was asked this question in a postgame. He said they're better, referring to UTSA instead of Baylor. To be honest with you, referring to UTSA after they had just played UTSA and the week before played Baylor.
I mean, right now, has Baylor proven that they're not better than UTSA? I mean, and he's the only one who's seen both. I know that sometimes you can just say, well, there's no way, but right now, I have so many questions about Baylor and the roster and all these things that I couldn't tell you that for sure UTSA is not better than them.
I mean, I don't think it's really all that controversial of a statement. I don't really get why people are thinking that that's that crazy of a statement. I mean, they're a top 25-ish type of team, been in and out of the top 25 rankings. There's a lot of respect for Jeff Traylor. They've won some, nice games. They've had some big moments. They've got a seventh-year starting quarterback. They've got some weapons that have been around that program for like 4 and 5 years at this point. Guess what? They were set up to be really good this year. And the fact that they're, better in G.J. Kinne's eyes, I don't think is that crazy based on what we've seen so far. And I don't think it's really disrespectful or anything along those lines. I think it's, definitely a comment that you can take as concerning if you're a fan of Baylor, where like, oh my gosh, now we're getting dunked on by G.J. Kinne, and no. But I didn't look at it that way. I mean, I think right now, Texas State is better than. Texas State was clearly better than them, but I think UTSA is better than them. If they were to line up right now, I'm probably taking UTSA. So, you can take that as like a.
Well, they're fundamentally like more sound. It seemed like even with Harris.
Well, they're older. They're far more experienced. They've had a head coach longer. Like they've got, I think that it's really not that controversial of a comment. If you want to take it that way as disrespectful because UTSA is supposed to be below you or whatever, then that's your prerogative. But I saw that and I saw some of the reaction to it, and I just moved on because I think UTSA is better than them, and I think it shows in probably every metric just about right now, and it's shown in previous years as well, so this is nothing new, actually.
All right, a lot of things in the chat, people back and forth on the Micah Hudson commitment, along with teams that were have lost in the Big 12, but also thanks to Clint Moses, a great Oregon State fan, for being here. Some that think Baylor will lose to Long Island. If Absolutely they lose to Long Island, you will not want to listen to the postgame. Paul, I'll walk from the stadium. If they lose to Long Island, it's done. It's over. You can shred everything else up. And I know it's already right now, a lot of people are frustrated. I think a lot of people want them to lose the game. If you don't like Baylor, of course you would want to see them lose that game. But I'm not a gambler. If you want them to lose, that's fine. But when they'll lose to Long Island, would you put money on that? Not with me, but would you bet money on that? Or is that just kind of being flippant and you want them to lose? Just like you want to see teams like Oklahoma or Texas or anyone else, you want to see them lose. They lose to Long Island, they won't recover from that for a long, long time. Neither will anybody in the program. But I think it's almost silly to even bring that up. Now,
if they lose to Long Island, which is not going to happen, and if it does, then I'll eat crow. But I'm saying that matter-of-factly because there's absolutely zero reasons why they should ever lose to Long Island. And so if that were to happen, then I would almost welcome it because it would provide the type of clarity that would just bust open everything and let you know exactly what the real deal is. None of this, well, who are they? And, well, the effort was good. And does this mean that they can do that? Or, no, they lose to Long Island, like, put a fork in it, it's done. And we can all start planning the exit strategies. That's what we could do. So in one way, it would at least answer some questions. But in reality, for at least right now, I'm not even entertaining that idea. And, I think it's probably as much just trolling as anything because the odds of that are quite slim.